So you do that History Channel show, hunting Hitler.
That was fun.
Did you ever find Hitler?
Yeah, so he died. And
do you want some background on this guy right quick? Because we haven't
Tim
covered
Kennedy?
Tim
No,
Kennedy
but
yet.
I know who he is, but yes, go ahead.
So Tim Kennedy is this guy who was on Joe Rogan, and he was running the Jocko Willink circuit and all that shit, all the Special Forces Bros podcast, because he's ex Green Beret, I think.
Didn't he land a helicopter at one of the first range day we went? Yeah, go ahead.
That was him.
Oh, he did?
Yep.
Oh, he did. That's neat. Yeah, he lied about literally everything.
Yeah, he lied about his entire military.
Okay, quick rundown, Virgie. What did he lie about?
So, I got another. No, I can't. Everything.
Everything. No, legit. Like he wrote a book. He wrote a book that is littered with lies about his fucking his amazing service. So then a bunch of these fucking Delta Force bros that do podcasts were like, yeah, I called around. He's completely full of shit. Like none of the guys from his team. And he also was on a TV show with the guy who blew up the fucking Cybertruck in front of a Trump Tower.
Oh, I knew that. That I knew. I did know that. I did see that.
And then pretended like he didn't know the guy. And it was like, you were on his team. They were two-man teams.
Yeah.
Who would have thought that
his captain went on a podcast and was like, dude, I'm calling you out because you could be tried as a war criminal for some of the things that you lied about.
Yeah, he claimed throwing the grenade story and all that shit.
Yeah, he claimed to throw a grenade into a house that he had like no idea who was actually in it, and he claimed that he killed a bunch of women and children.
So wait a second.
And his captain was like, "Dude, that didn't happen." And
that's like the made up story Howard Stern made about throwing a grenade at an orphanage. The kill should have counted as 30 kills, but then it counted it as one.
Yes.
and
okay, so this is Bapa defending him. Hunting
Hitler. That was fun.
Did you ever find Hitler?
Yeah, so he died, and
who would have
that was
thought
pretty funny though.
You find Adolf guy Tim Kennedy would be alleged to have lied about his time at war. A friend of Joe Rogan, Brendan Schaub, and the crew? No, it can't be.
Tim, you filleted yourself, brother, when you did that. So I'm doing you a favor by telling everybody that did not happen.
Right.
So
that was the guy you were saying, Virgie, right?
That's his
International
captain.
Criminal
That's
Courts
the guy who is in
out.
charge of Tim.
400 Iranians charging you guys.
Be surrounded by 400 Iranian freedom fighters.
400 Iranians and a whole bunch of other insane alleged lies that his peers and former captain can't help but laugh at. How to save your credibility. Have your friend Brendan Schaub.
That'll help you. See, when you want credibility back, you call your buddy Brendan Schaub.
That would be the first person I would contact if I needed to rehab my image.
And after that, it'd be Bert Kreischer.
Who is only known for telling the truth online, vouch for you, and suddenly the internet will believe you're telling the truth. Problem solved. Tim posts about the podcast calling him out. Brendan does no research and comments,
"This means you're crushing it, my man. Those dudes don't have the ability to come up with original ideas and have a podcast people will watch."
Well, the original ideas are lying about war crimes.
That's what I was going to say. Pause for a second, right? These guys don't do original ideas. A lot of these guys talk about their real time at war.
Yeah.
That's not ideas. That's literally like, yeah, when I was in Iraq, this happened.
Hey, Tim. Where do you get your war crimes from?
Also, Brendan Schaub accusing another person of not being able to come up with original ideas for a podcast is like the funniest shit ever,
yeah,
dude.
suddenly Virgie doesn't enjoy fajita jokes.
Envious of people like yourself and others you named and hope to generate views off hate, which will work for a short time, but eventually they're back to square one with no new ideas and will go for someone else to generate views.
Yeah, it's the internet. It's pretty cool. It's actually kind of fun.
Eventually all sponsors will jump off, but it will be too late. You're one of the best people I know.
Didn't you have that issue with like the podcast, whatever company, they didn't pay you either for your ads?
Yeah. I love you. Those dudes can't say the same.
I'm a fan, Brendan, but this ain't it. Do a tad bit of research on Brent and the podcast. Did you listen to the whole episode?
Of course, you didn't listen to anything. He can't even read the articles anymore because his brain is just a bunch of black spots on an X-ray. Like, I mean, I don't know. I mean, what do you want?
At Brendan Schaub, sit this one out.
You don't even have to watch the whole podcast either. You can just click on any point in this dude's podcast about of them talking about Tim Kennedy's book.
Ideas or nobody.
It's like they're reading a page from a first draft of a Call of Duty game.
I see.
He watches them. 10 out of 10. Brendan and Brian talk.
Why would you lie about something like that's so easy to verify? Like,
Yeah,
the
it's
people
not
that
like-
lie about these things that are so easy to verify, I don't understand.
It would be a lot easier to lie about things that, like, back when records weren't kept as much. Like, you could probably lie about Vietnam or, like, World War II.
Death
like,
numbers.
Stuff where there's, like, you know, most of the guys are... You're an asshole. That took me a second. I'm like, motherfucker. But, I mean, honestly, like, you can at least... There's not as many guys alive to be like, that didn't happen. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
you could
yeah.
be like, oh, man, I took on 75 Viet Cong with my bare hands. And it's like, no.
Yeah.
But, like, you can't lie about a war from, like, 5 years ago. I think we have computers
Some of these
now.
guys had GoPros on them.
They literally do.
Talk shit about news and people like every podcast, but want to pretend like they're reinventing the format and not sinking in views, when their format hasn't changed in, what, a decade? With Tim Kennedy, however, the lies get allegedly Hollywood.
He goes on and on both on podcast and in this book, and hold that little girl until she fell asleep all night long.
6 hours.
6 hours, yeah. And his arms fell asleep and his legs fell asleep, but he didn't have the the courage to wake this little girl up.
Look at him, look at him,
He's literally
oh
laughing.
shit.
He did this. Travis,
And you can tell these guys are cool because they're smoking cigars.
Yeah.
did that happen?
Not at
They're
all,
drinking
actually.
their Black Rifle coffee. Hell yeah. Oorah.
Soon that we heard the inbound Black Hawk, the medevac to take them. It
So-
was maybe an hour.
So you were first American hands on that child.
Yes.
Not.
So he took credit for something homie did?
Yeah. He took some credit for something his captain did.
Oh, fuck. This shit's
Also,
wild.
he shits on his captain a couple times in the book, and that's what made like people that were on his team come out and be like, "Yo, this motherfucker." Like,
Tim Kennedy.
I don't think he ever touched her.
Clearing.
So yeah, lying about something like that looks really bad, obviously. Protagonist syndrome, gross, embarrassing, all of the above. And Jesus, who would have thought the Cybertruck firework explosion at Trump Tower was Matt Livelsberger,
Yep, yeah.
who Tim Kennedy served with. So the rabbit hole gets bizarre, deeper. Seems like serving does wonders for the mental. And for his pal Joe Rogan. First, Joe has an
Oh, I remember this one.
ex-convict get to separating bodies and heads for his fridge decorations right after appearing. Now this.
When you sit down with Tim Kennedy, he's got a great personality. Very likable individual.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So are the best used car salesmen.
My personality
Right.
that is just immune to bullshit.
That's the funniest joke he's ever told.
Right.
That's the funniest joke he has ever told in his life.
He thinks Elon is like the smartest man on the earth.
He's very dumb.
What is he talking about?
When bullshit hits me, I'm go, oh, I know what this is. I grew up without a dad, okay? I don't trust
What?
people. I think there's a lot of bullshit in the world.
The bullshit detector
I
is
grew up without a dad, so I got a bullshit.
You know what that
detector.
was? That was like, hey, give me a break. I'm a parent. I'm a child of divorce.
working overtime, of course. It's weird that Tim felt the need as an
Joe Rogan's BS detector questioned after body parts.
ex-UFC fighter and special forces guy to lie this much about his achievements allegedly, like it won't eventually all be called out by the people who were there. It truly is a baffling mental conundrum, when what they've achieved they feel isn't enough, but lying about it will only tear it all down. Bizarre. Who knows what's true when you're spouting it on JRE, Jocko's podcast? Clearly he wanted this to move towards his own film, and just like the
He was trying to angle for his own movie.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Oh.
His captain even says that, and I think he clipped it. In
To be honest, I mean, I still wouldn't rule it out. I mean, everyone knew Chris Kyle was full of shit, and they still made the movie about him.
That's true.
they're doing it for money defense and attacking their own.
They accused me of stolen valor.
Nobody said that.
Who said that?
No, actually, no. They literally said
Okay,
they did accuse him of stolen valor because he claimed to have been injured in combat and he has no Purple Hearts.
Ah, okay.
Oh, that is.
So he
they did this.
He did stolen valor.
Let's see.
To keep veterans accountable. Somebody is pretending to be in a moral high ground, but they're attacking other veterans.
So wait, no. The
So
answer
you're not
was
allowed
that
to criticize anyone that you ever served with in the military ever. They're all
especially
above...
if they're lying about a Purple Heart.
Yeah, exactly.
I kind of feel like that degrades other people that actually earned a Purple Heart.
So if I'm your captain and you're lying about me, I can't correct the record
Well,
because you're a veteran?
You're degrading veterans.
that is really just financially based. They're doing this to make money.
Not realizing that's really just projection, as all of his stories are alleged.
Tim Kennedy is facing serious allegations that he fabricated parts of his war record and combat experience after a podcast was released. He floated the possibility it's politically motivated, but does that add up?
Or obviously embellished for their Hollywood potential or money. I'm lying, so everyone must be. The Anti-Hero podcast just a few weeks ago was defending a Marine who they thought was wrongfully sentenced, so it's such a laughable excuse. They're lying for a few clicks and some money on one video, or the guy with extremely questionable claims is. I don't know. Would someone please let me know what Brendan Schaub thinks so I can know what my opinion is? Thank you.
No one's ever said that, by the way.
I think Mark Zuckerberg doing a basic white belt arm bar. Everyone's like, oh my God, this is sick. Why? Because a nerd from Harvard who's worth $1 billion all of a sudden is it okay if I call you DW?
Yeah, you look thicker. You look like a different guy.
Oh, he's pointing out that Bapa's probably a little jealous that Rogan's being friendly with a Zuck.
You do. You look like a jiu-jitsu guy now. It's funny.
Brendan needs a handler.
The Brendan Schaub day drinking days were perfect, and he did have a rare, good point against Zuck and people like him. Just like Tim Kennedy, anybody with a book to sell or a movie to write comes on JRE, throws a little embellish on, and off they go. You get the Machine, Tim Kennedy, back in the Howard Stern
Machine.
I'm Rambo and a child savior. Meanwhile, everyone I served with can barely contain their laughter.
You know, I was reading through some of his chapters, and I was marking the place every time he made a reference to a movie.
Okay.
And I gave up after about 30.
Oh, no, that's embarrassing. Was he one of those really, like, into war movie guys?
Yeah.
Oh, no. So, you know that scene in the Hurt Locker?
Remember Jarhead?
Yeah. Be quiet.
And I didn't even make it through the first chapter.
In command sergeant majors, they're high-ranking people, and they're very upset about this. They
more people
want to pull his tab. If you're going to write this type of book with these amount of lies, and you're going to have stolen valor, you're going to say you got injured when you didn't, and you say you should have Purple Heart.
He kept referencing Private Benjamin, the Goldie Hawn Army movie, and that was a weird choice.
And the fact that he goes, it was very Stripes-esque, I thought was odd,
Yeah, he kept referencing army comedies. That Pauly Shore one was in
the army. He was in the army
the
now.
Water treatment one.
Yeah, he mentioned in the army now, I believe, if I remember.
There was like 3 pages about McHale's Navy, and like, you're in the army. Why I don't.
And I don't even know why he literally entire chapter on Hogan's Heroes.
Yeah, and all he talks about is MASH.
Yeah, it's very weird.
and
not the war stuff. Just the medical stuff.
Yeah, there was an entire chapter that literally just went do 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 do.
Written out. It was written out.
It was like, what are you doing? Do 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 do.
He wrote about MASH and not the show, the game on paper that high school girls play.
No, he wrote about MASH and not the show, the potatoes and Brendan's head.
Oh, poor Brendan.
Valor medals when you don't. Admitting to war crimes that you didn't even do. It's not just the book. You also
Why would you admit to war crimes?
On podcast, the largest podcast in America.
But it's okay, everyone. Brendan Schaub is here to defend me. Yeah, that'll do it. I'm not surprised, as Brendan's current co-worker he tortures, Chris D'Elia, if FBI alumni, is out here still saying stuff like this.
If you're mad at people for using power to have sex with women, then you have to be also mad at the women that fucked their way to the top, dude.
Wow, that's a very specific problem you have.
It's very, very
It kind of feels like it's something that's affected you personally. In that you used your power and then got really mad.
And it's somehow these whores' fault.
It's these dumb bitches.
We hate both. You stupid hemophile. We hate
And you know
both.
why I hate Zuckerberg? I'll tell you why I hate Zuckerberg and all these people. You know you can screen record all these private things? Did you know that? I think that's unfair.
No, but
I don't think he hates Jews, Pessy.
No, Virgin. No. The other one. No.
No, it wouldn't be a hates Jews. It means you fuck Jews. Like, I'm a hebephile.
Yeah, he does. Yeah.
Don't say that and give it a clean cut, bro. What are you doing with your life?
He's got the sheeny weeny curse.
I'm also a Negrophile.
Mad at the women.
That sounds learned.
fucked their way to the top, dude.
No, but my point is you shouldn't be mad at any of it.
Fine.
After his apparent Cosby-level allegations, so, well, get to work, Tim. You've got plenty more you can get away with and still keep a career. Brendan, Tim, Chris, they only have the best quality friends you can find. A truly crazy week for the fighter and the kid as the studio was at risk from the fires, and then Brendan tries to offload Brian to Texas, potentially ending one of the goof shows the internet has enjoyed for so long now.
If Brian moves, what happens to the podcast?
Well, Theo Vaughn's left me, and Brian's leaving
This thing's been on its last legs.
I'm not going to have Delia sit here because this studio is too close to a school.
Eric Griffin?
So, yeah, okay. I really want to see Eric Griffin black laugh about everything. No, thanks. I'm good. Hear me out. Okay, how about Brendan and stopping doing this? How's that for a combination?
It's a theory. It's an idea, Brendan. We're just spitballing here. We're just trying to help you out.
Yeah, maybe we should fire some of those neurons in your broken brain.